Howdy folks, I'm Runty Reindeer, regally racing through roaring rapids.
I'm Amber.
And here are more roaring rapids for us to race through. And folks, we have a live stream coming up at the end of the day today. For more information, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Buying a Coffee Maker for Guests? Me and my husband do not drink coffee, so we do not have a coffee maker or any coffee beans. He has a friend who lives hours away and sees him in person once every year or two. Usually when he comes up, he brings his girlfriend. They stayed over for a few days last year, and before they came, I asked if they wanted any food or drinks to have in the house, and I told them what we normally kept stock in the house. They didn't make any requests. The first morning, the girlfriend wanted coffee. I told her that we do not have any way to make coffee here, but that I could bring her to the coffee shop, which was 2 minutes away. She declined, but her mood seemed sour after that. We hung out with other mutual friends for the day, and I learned from one of them that she was really upset that we didn't have any way to make coffee at home because she needs it in the morning. Each morning, I offered to bring her to the coffee shop, and she would always decline. I even offered it as my treat in case they didn't have the money, and she still declined. Well, they came over again a year later. I still didn't have a coffee machine because we don't drink coffee. This time she called me a bad host to my face because I had them over knowing that she needs her coffee and I didn't get anything to make coffee. I'm a people pleaser and I go to huge lengths to make guests more comfortable. But I can't justify having a coffee maker that we don't use for maybe a once per year guest. I don't have the storage space for it. I talked with people about it and some think that I was right. We don't drink coffee and we don't have it. But a lot of others think that if you have guests that you should have coffee available. And this makes me think that my mom and grandma, who always had coffee ready within minutes of guests arriving, expected or not. So this skews my view. Am I the jerk for not having a coffee maker and coffee beans when I knew that a guest who needs coffee would come to stay at my house? Edit a ad, I'm getting a lot of comments about how they're cheap. Yes, I know I can afford one, but I don't have the space to store something that I won't use except for maybe once per year. Yes, they're small, but I don't have the space in my kitchen, which is why I offered to bring her to get some coffee somewhere else. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I think offering to get her coffee was plenty generous. And if she, first of all, nobody, well, I don't know if nobody, but I think there are very few people who medically need coffee. Yes, people like it to get going in the morning, but that's kind of on you to be prepared. If she knows OP doesn't have a coffee pot, then why didn't she plan to order coffee in or bring, some instant coffee or some sort of thing to deal with the situation?
Well, I mean, I was actually going to go with the instant coffee route. I think that OP should have bought instant coffee at that point in time and just had a jar of instant coffee. I mean, it lasts forever and you can just keep it in your cupboard. Some people don't like instant coffee, but I mean, it's better than, no coffee at all for people who desperately need their coffee in the morning. And personally, I mean, I don't even think that instant coffee is that bad. So I think that OP isn't in the wrong here per se, but I think after the first day, maybe they should have gone out and gotten some instant coffee or something.
Well, I was talking about the friend's girlfriend
I
buying
know
her
you
own.
were, I know you were, but I mean, I think since OP's the host, it would be polite to have instant coffee.
I mean, I think I mean, I'm not a coffee person, so I may be skewed in this, but I also feel like, accommodating a guest's basic needs, having, a warm place to stay and like stuff like that and meals they can eat, like that's all you need to do. And the things that are not necessities, like, are not necessary to provide.
But I mean, OP asked if they wanted anything, right? Which means that OP was willing to go out of their way to buy stuff to make them more comfortable. And I mean, I'm not saying that OP's a bad host or anything, but I think that it might have been a good idea just to get some instant coffee to kind of smooth things over and make sure that things didn't, devolve like this. And
Well, I
I
have a
mean,
feeling that instant coffee wouldn't have been satisfactory.
well, I mean, at that point in time, that's on her, right? I mean, the OP would have a reasonable substitution.
Yeah.
And again, like it's not doesn't take up much space. It's going to be something that you can store away. And if even if OP wanted just to toss it and then get another jar the next year that they come by, that's perfectly fine too. So again, I'm not saying OP's a bad person. I'm just saying that I think that they could have gone a little bit out of their way to get some instant coffee. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. No judgment.
That's fair.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. The wheel has refused to pass judgment today.
The wheel is like, oh, they've been criticizing me too much.
And Existing Try 2857 says, my husband and I don't drink coffee either, but I bought an inexpensive single K-cup machine, I think for $25. I have it for the odd time when a guest wants coffee. I just think that it's hospitable since most people do drink coffee. And OP replies, I had a Keurig, but I had to give it away because a family member wanted one and we never used it. And if we did, it was probably too dirty inside, so we would have to clean it first. And Extension Issue 3560 says, not the jerk, we don't drink coffee either. If someone comes over, I offer them tea or have an instant coffee in the cupboard. And OP replies, I had a couple types of tea, even though I don't drink that, but no coffee. Everyone mentions instant coffee, but I've never considered that as an option because everyone I know will not drink it. They hate it, so I figured that it would be a bad option to have. I mean, I guess some people are just picky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, instant coffee is not bad. I mean, there are some bad instant coffees, but I've had bad coffee. Instant coffee is not bad. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Let My Fiance's Ex Give a Speech at Our Wedding? My fiance was dating Katie for years, then they broke it off. She still comes around since she's close to his family. By how much time they had spent together, Katie seems to really know my fiance well. That didn't bother me at first, but it became an issue when she asked if I would let her give a speech at the wedding since she knows him so well, and wanted to tell a few funny stories about him. I felt extremely uncomfortable, and I told her that I was sorry, but I didn't think that it was appropriate for her to do that. My future mother-in-law got involved and started lecturing me, saying that I need to stop being negative and claimed that I was making this about me, but it's my wedding. My fiance is choosing to stay out of this, but the pressure is on me now. I'm being called oversensitive and needing to loosen up, as this could be a good opportunity to add more laughter and joy to the event. But to be completely honest on here, I don't want his ex to take any part in our wedding, even if she's a friend of the family and they've known each other since she was a teenager. All right, folks, what do you think of this one?
No, I don't think OP's in the wrong on this. And but the whole her fiance is staying out of this. Why isn't he stepping up and like saying something? I would not marry this man unless he is going to actually like step up for you.
Yeah, I need a little more information on this one, right? I think that OP is probably not in the wrong here, but I think it really depends. Like, what kind of relationship did they have? Was this like a middle school crush type of thing where they're friends now and they, know each other as families and stuff like that? Or is this like they were, had a very serious relationship for, years? Now, I think that OP could ask to see what stories she wants to tell, because a lot of people tend to write these things down, and maybe OP could screen it ahead of time if she's really concerned about what the ex is going to say here, right? And that way she can have the final say on whether or not these stories get told.
But people can always switch things last minute.
They can. I mean, I certainly think that that's something that can happen, and but I think that why would she lie at that point in time to OP,
Well, why is she so adamant on giving a speech? Like, it doesn't sound like she's even close with the husband anymore. She's close with his family. And it seems like it's his family who's pushing for her to be included.
Yeah.
Like, if he was being like, oh yeah, I want her to give a speech, like that would be one thing. And that would be something that he and OP would have to work through. But what my read on this is that his mom is trying to call the shots. And that's why for me personally, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship they had as much. What matters is it seems like mother-in-law is trying to make the wedding go according to her specifications.
Yeah.
And OP's husband is not willing to stand up and stand up to his mom.
And if that's the case, then I think that, he really does need to stand up and needs to and put an end to this if this isn't something that he really wants. And for me, it's hard to give it a read on that, because this could be one of those things where he doesn't want to say anything to OP because he doesn't want to make her more mad, and doesn't want to like commit to one way or the other because he just doesn't want, because he's fine with the speech, but he doesn't really want to upset OP. It's hard for me because I think there's some details here that could really go one way or another for me. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Podfan06082 says, why is Katie even invited? It's your wedding and Katie is the ex. Your future mother-in-law is not good. And OP replies, my future mother-in-law thought that inviting her was automatic and my fiance seemed okay with it, so I didn't want to stir up some drama. And Pixie Ann says, not a jerk. Everyone here is varying degrees of being a jerk. Katie should grow up. It's not appropriate for her to speak at your wedding. Mother-in-law needs to butt out. Fiance needs to grow a spine and support you, and I would be furious with them right now if I were you. Why are they staying out of this? Can they not see that you're uncomfortable with their ex-partner speaking at your wedding? Then it's just not going to happen? Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Breaking Up with My Girlfriend Because of a Caught Cheating Prank? I'm a 26-year-old male and I broke up with my girlfriend, a 25-year-old female of 2 years, because of something that happened recently. And now my friends are saying that I massively overreacted. So a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a scenario where I caught them in bed together, pretending that they were hooking up. They set up a hidden camera in the bedroom, and when I walked in, I saw him just in his boxer and my girlfriend in a bra and panties, straddling him, acting like they were mid-hookup. To make it more realistic, they even made some noises and tried to act like it was happening for real. I was shocked, furious, and immediately confronted him as I thought that it was real at first, like an actual betrayal. And then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house, when they followed me screaming that it was a prank, and then they showed me the video that they had been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed, not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they had gotten undressed to film it. I know this was meant to be funny to some people, but for me, it felt disrespectful and I was hurt. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. I told her that I couldn't be in a relationship with someone who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. She's devastated, and our friends have been telling me that I overreacted. They think that it was just a harmless prank and that I should have taken it better. But I can't shake the feeling that she crossed a line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everyone seems to think that I blew this out of proportion. Edit, I did not expect this many responses. Thank you guys. She posted here earlier and sent me a link to her post. I know she wants me to watch a video to prove it was all set up and planned, but I feel like she still doesn't get that I'm upset about her disregard and disrespect for me and our relationship. Anyways, I'm going to sign off for the night. Update, my ex-girlfriend was really upset with all the hate that she received online and blamed me for painting her in a bad light. I told her that I did no such thing. She just didn't like that she got called out on her behavior. The mutual friend who took part in the prank is now also mad at me, saying that I went overboard. I told them both just to go away, and I blocked their numbers. Our friends have since started talking about this more seriously after reading some of the comments on here, with a few taking my side and saying that what my girlfriend did was horrible. Others think that this was all unnecessary and I should have just laughed it off and moved on. Alright folks, what do you think?
Oh no, I don't think Opie's in the wrong. Like, again, pranks are supposed to be things that everyone can laugh about. This is clearly not funny for OP. They wanted to cause him intense distress for what? A funny video?
Well, okay, let me set this scenario up for you. Alright? You want to cheat on your partner. And so you say, why don't we set up this elaborate prank here so that we can be, show that, oh, this is just a prank type of thing, right? And then, you do something like this, and then that gives you, like, a layer of plausible deniability down the line, right? Like, oh no, this was just a prank. Oh no, this was, like, even if you were to, like, set this up so that, you give the image of it being a prank, right? That then lowers that defense type of thing, right? So you could use this as a way to essentially cheat with, and, gaslight someone into believing that you weren't cheating on them, right? And so I think that it's a dangerous thing to play with in that respect. I mean, especially with, like what OP says, they got very intimate and very close. That's, whether they intended on cheating or not. I think that really brushes up to the border of cheating as is.
Well, it's probably some sort of relationship boundary violation. Like, I imagine hanging out with people they could be attracted to in their undergarments is probably not like in their okay realm.
Yeah. And certainly, like, you can say you can break up with a person. These can be deal breakers and stuff like that. And OP is showing what a deal breaker for him is. This was a deal breaker, and they said, no, I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone who does this. Sorry. And I think that was a mature, responsible way of ending the relationship. So I don't think that OP's in the wrong here. And I think that while the ex is upset about this, they also chose to do this. And so I mean, I have a hard time faulting OP for anything, any of their actions here. And talk about just jumping online and then, trying to post videos and stuff like that to show that this was a prank and stuff like that. You're going to get skewered on the internet. I mean, I don't know what they were expecting here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a very, very funny joke. So funny that I forgot to laugh.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Annie.
Anyone home? Yes, it's me.
Knock, knock.
Annie who?
Annie. Anything with onions makes my eyes water.
That's true. Amber has a very low tolerance for onions.
I do. It's awful.
I don't know if it's true if she has a low tolerance for onions, but if I chop onions, her eyes water from across the room. So.
Well, it's mostly like as soon as you put them in the frying pan, that's when my eyes really get upset.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks. I hope your Friday is off to a fantastic start. And folks, we have a live stream coming up later today. I hope to see you then. For more information, see this video thing right here. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on prank cheating.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Or today.